Okay, ladies, I hate to stop y'all for a minute, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about providing evidence. Last week when we were in small group with Mrs. Lee, could you explain what we did with the witch and Jenna's journal? Could you explain what we did with that in small group with Mrs. Lee?
Yes, ma'am. What we did was we did read around the text where we would find evidence, and when we found evidence, we would break it down into chunks in our text, and you would ask us questions, and we would have to do margin questions and margin notes.
Okay, well, when we got to the after section of the actual lesson, what was the skill we were working on, Harley, when we were looking at Jenna's journal and the witch?
We would do cause and effect for when she wasn't really good at doing the self-improvement spells, and so she turned into that witch with the warts and stuff.
So whatever happened in her early life is what led her to be that wild and wicked witch, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did you just do the cause and effect, or after you wrote the cause and effect in your own words, what did you do?
We, after we wrote it in our own words, you would read it, Miss Lee would read it, and we would go back and try to make it better and provide more evidence.
Where would you find the evidence, though?
We would go back in our text.
Okay, back into the text. So you would have to go from one text to the other, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So if it was the cause, what text would you go back into?
The Jenna's journal.
Okay, if it was the effect, what text would you go into?
To the witch.
Into the witch. And so you would, what is evidence, by the way? We keep talking about this word evidence. What is evidence exactly?
Clues to figure out what the whole main idea of the whole text.
No, you are right. They're clues. Who is the individual that gives us these clues? Who provides the evidence?
The author, the one who made the text.
Very good. The actual writer gives us clues. His exact words are the evidence, okay, that leads us to our answers. And when we have a direct quote that we pull out from a text, what do we do with those direct quotes? What do we do with those direct quotes? Quotes.
We put them in quotation marks.
Exactly right. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. And what are you doing right now? That's what I'm trying to. We're doing what's called gradual release. You did it in small group. Now you're working in partners, and I'm moving around, facilitating to you guys. So what are you doing right now with this passage?
We are pulling out chunks of the text to figure out evidence that what words we do that do not go with the story and what words do.
Okay, you called it a story. Are the two passages you used, are they stories? I know it's hard because we often think of our text as stories, but what type of text do you have in front of you? Are they stories?
Poems.
Is that a poem? You started with a poem.
Yeah, they're like short little broke down stories.
What kind of, is it to entertain us or to give us information or to persuade us?
Expository.
That's expository text. I know it gets confusing because we did work with a poem first and we did work with a short story before you started with this, but you're now at the nonfiction point, okay? And you're doing a magnetic summary. And I'm going to get over your worksheet so that we can see what the magnetic summary looks like. And there's one passage on the legend of the Headless Horseman, and then flip it over, Daisy. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't flip it over. And then there's the other passage, and I'm going to move around and see if I can see anyone that's actually cutting yet so that you can see the process. Okay. Okay, we have JP and Ryan cutting out. JP, what are you cutting out right now?
Evidence from Headless Horseman for why we should eliminate school.
Okay, so in the magnetic summary, you have some words that belong and some words that don't belong with the text. And what kind of text do you have in front of you?
Expository.
It's expository, which gives information. Very good. So you're saying you eliminated the word Civil War? Is that what you're saying? And so now you're cutting out evidence from the passage that supports that the Civil War should not be there because why? Tell me why.
Because in the story of the Headless Horseman, it's not a Hessian soldier the Civil War. They didn't use them for Civil War. They used them in the American Revolution.
Exactly right. And they actually even use the word Revolutionary War in the passage, don't they? And remember, is this a story? Would we refer to this as a story or a passage?
A short story.
It does recount some things, but we would refer to this as a passage since it's not really a narrative, okay? Because this is to give us information. All right? I know that we most of the time we think of all of the pieces of text we get as stories, but remember, narrative to entertain us, we would call those stories. All right? But good job. Thank you explaining the process of what you're doing. Okay, Savannah, if you'll just give me a quick recount of what you guys are doing, and then I'll end this short video.
We are cutting out evidence for our sentence.
Okay, so what did you guys eliminate? Tell me what you're doing and what kind of evidence you're providing.
We did school teachers. It doesn't concern the Headless Horseman because Ichabod is the teacher. The Headless Horseman that's like a small fat cereal united.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. In the passage, does it mention someone being a school teacher?
Yes.
Yeah, so shouldn't you keep that? Because isn't one of the main characters a school teacher? Yeah, so y'all might want to rethink that. That's okay. That's why I'm here, moving around facilitating. Okay? Give me another one, though, that you used.
Patriot soldier.
Okay, so you eliminated Patriot Soldier. Now, that's a good one to eliminate. Why did you eliminate Patriot Soldier?
The Headless Horseman is a Hessian soldier.
A former Hessian soldier. And we know that Hessians are mercenaries that were paid by the English. And they are German soldiers that came to fight against the United States during the Revolutionary War. So I'm just going to come around to your paper and see. And I know that you have a mistake on there, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. It's all about gradual release. Okay, I'm going to come in. Okay, and the first one you have correct with eliminating the Patriot. And then we're going to make sure that we go back and change the school teacher. So instead of school teacher, what might you want to eliminate from your box?
Love triangle. English.
I don't know. Did they mention anything about a minister? Is there a minister in the passage at all?
Headless Horseman.
And in the poem it had minister of death, but it didn't have anything about minister in that passage. Okay. All right. Good job. Thank you.